Oh shit. Bollocks. We're okay. Whew. In. Oh shit, pushed it way too hard. We're here in Villafranca for the Classica Penedes race, which is happening tomorrow. It's going to be 135 kilometers and more than 2,000 meters of elevation, so not an easy race, but hopefully a lot of fun. There should be quite a few people signed up, so it should be a nice ride to get all the local cyclists together and do a nice old route around wine country. I did this ride last year and it was a really great day out, so yeah, super excited to do it again. Last year I did the 89 kilometers, I think it was, and this year moving up to 135, so this is going to be my longest ride actually. I've got close to that before, but I've never quite got to that level, so it's going to be a long one, it's going to be a tough one, and yeah, it's going to be really hot. It's starting to get quite humid now as well around here, so bit of a challenge to stay hydrated and keep the food on board as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think a bit about my nutrition and hydration strategy for tomorrow. But yeah, it was a really fun day out last year. Loads of people did it, and hopefully we're gonna get a good turnout as well for tomorrow's ride. First of all, I need to go and pick up my number, the race number, which has a jersey, the number to put on the bike, and some other bits and bobs, some other goodies from the sponsors. So yeah, we're gonna go grab that now, and then tonight carbo load for dinner, get ready for the race tomorrow morning. Got myself a sleeping kid. The little one's fallen asleep on the way up here, so I'm gonna have to carry her in there. This is where the... Oh, hello little bean, are you awake? Right, so this is where the race will start tomorrow. I think it's in here to pick up the bag. Let's have a look. This is what the jersey looks like. They provide. Good morning. It is race day. We are now heading down to the start line. It's about 7:30 and kickoff is at 8, so got a little bit of time. It's not too far to the start line, thankfully. And yeah, in terms of the ride for me, what I'm hoping to try and get out of it is, obviously it's not a race, it's not competitive, so you know, it's not going to be that kind of race style. It's a sportive, you know, it's a friendly ride. It's just a good day out. There'll be lots of beginners, lots of new riders, there'll be some more experienced riders as well. But for me, I suppose what I'm trying to get out of it is, I would like to get a decent time. I would like to push myself. I feel like my training has been going quite well. Obviously this is the first event of the summer, so it's the first time to put a real dig in on the bike and have a real test of fitness and endurance and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'm obviously not treating it as a race because it's not a race, but I will be trying to stick with kind of a fast moving group and trying to move forward on the road and see how things play out and try and get a decent time, to be honest. That's the aim anyway.
La sortida d'una trobada cicloturista brutal, una clàssica, ja ho sabeu, ho diu el nom ho diu tot.
I just grab a quick little coffee before we get to the start line. The aim of the game today is to stay on top of nutrition. That is the plan. Hold on, let me just show you this beast. Red Bull Bora S-Works there. Jeez. And there's our boy. So this is me from the future. It's the next day, the day after the race, and yeah, full-on recovery day. Feeling all right, legs are feeling okay, shoulders a little bit stiff from the incident, which you're going to see very shortly. But yeah, I wanted to do some of the key moments throughout the ride, obviously because I couldn't really talk to the camera much. during the event. So we started off with a staggered start, which is why I was at the front of the start line. The main thing for me was to try and get to a fast moving group, but a group that I could, you know, stick with. So at the beginning there's kind of riders everywhere, and I had to sort of filter through and try and get to the riders that were moving at a good pace and then trying to stick with them. Early on I managed to get onto the back of a decent group. At first I thought they would be a bit too strong for me, but I managed to hang on to them and I managed to continue going forward. They were sort of streaming forward along the road and passing a lot of riders that were, you know, taking it a lot easier. So it was a bit of a challenge to stick with them. And yeah, it was definitely a huge sort of education for me in terms of riding in a group, like not just riding in a group because I've ridden in groups before, but it's riding in a group that's trying to progress forward. So you really saw that kind of accordion effect with the group. Every time the guy at the front accelerated slightly, that then gets amplified down the group. So where I was, the guy in front of me would accelerate forward and all of a sudden a gap comes from nothing. So I found myself constantly closing these gaps, these small gaps to the guy in front of me. It's just a huge learning curve in terms of like trying to keep on top of what the guys further up the group are doing. If I'm seeing that the guys further up are accelerating, then my guy in front of me is going to accelerate. So trying to sort of stay ahead of the game in that sense. Or in and out of corners, taking the right line so that I don't have to accelerate too much out of corners. Loads of different things like that.
I was made for it. Working before I was paid for it. Ain't no finish line, I'm trying to race to it. I'ma run this shit after the tape torn. Can't be easing up, I keep the speed. I need that paper busting out the ring. I don't just love it, nigga, I'm a fiend. That's why I'm never running out of steam. And yeah, I'm the pastor, but I'm a heathen. I gotta get it beat. Some bereavement, we ain't just in the lead, we the leads. And pushing it till we see every region, pedal to flow. Middle of the clip, let the head of the know. I got the temperature sweltering, never so effortless. Referencing what's in the toe. Don't mention my name, listen next to the ghost. Traumatized through all the years. Still I rise, I'm hard to kill. Before they lay me down the hill, I pray the Lord my sights reveal. All enemies in sight, and he holds true to words that God forgives. Close your eyes and guard your ears.
There was an absolute powerhouse, an absolute unit that was pulling from the front for ages. Had purple shorts. I think I've got him on video at one point. But yeah, he was pulling so hard. He was rotating with another guy. It was just the two of them sort of rotating on the front, and they were pulling everyone forward for so long. I was surprised that I was able to stay with them for that long, to be honest, but I knew that I had to kind of overwork myself to stay with the group, because it's one of those type of rides where if the group goes up ahead, there's not going to be any effort from anybody else to try and close that down. It's not like what you see in pro racing where, you know, the breakaway goes off and the peloton comes together to try and catch the breakaway, right? So I went through that phase of sort of dropping off, catching back on a little bit. And then we got to about 65k and we hit sort of a long sustained climb. And for some reason the pace ramped up there. I think there was like a sort of semi-pro team, is what I mentioned on the video. It was a team. I'm not sure what level they are. It's obviously not World Tour or anything, but they were, you know, all kitted out with the same kit and everything. They hit the front and they pulled on that climb. So they were some strong riders, and they pulled from the front and sort of strung out the group, and lots of people were getting dropped on this climb. I managed to stay with it for the most part until we got near the summit, and then I had to drop back. So they went off.
Losing the front group a little bit on this climb. About 60k in, heart rate's way too high. So we've done well to stick with them to this point, really. There's like a semi-pro team pulling from the front. 5 of them. I'm not sure what the team is. It's obviously not World Tour or Conti, like a local team, but there's some good young riders. I'm just gonna manage my effort and see if I can get back on. Woo.
Since they dropped me fairly close to the top, my plan from then was to basically manage my effort to the top and then try to catch back on the descent. And that's where things went south. I came down off the descent, hit a few corners, pushed it really hard, and then went into one corner and pushed it too hard, and this is what happened.
Fuck. Oh shit. Bollocks. We're okay. Whew. In. Fuck. Oh shit, pushed it way too hard. We're all good though, get the chain back on. Okay? Yeah. Sí, bien, gracias. Muy bien. Okay, we're back on track. Oh. Just went around that corner way too fast. We couldn't stop in time. The bike seems okay though, which is the main thing I suppose. I'm alright as well. Bit of a cut on the knee, but nothing major. I think we got away with that. That could have been pretty bad.
And that was that really. From then on, you know, it was just recovery, checking things over, making sure the bike was okay, making sure I was okay. I had to stop for water and toilet breaks, so you know I managed to get with I think another group that was moving quite quickly, but then I had to let them go because I just had to stop for water. Managed to find a decent group that was setting a nice pace for me. I was pulling a few turns on the front there, but we've come to a food stop here. I didn't really want to stop, but I've run out of water and there's about 60k left, so I don't think I can make it all that way without any water. So stop to fill up. Which means I've lost the group I was with, but anyway, I dropped out of the front group anyway, so after the crash, the race is more or less done for me. Not that it's a race, but you know, we tried to be competitive. All okay. Made a big mistake on that corner, took it too hot, but the bike's totally fine. I'm totally fine, just a scratch on my knee. Aside from that, all good.
Bueno, dels xutxes. Xutxes I els croissants aquests que són una bomba.
A couple of chocolate croissants. And then we'll set off again. Little race update then. We are 115k in, so 20k to go. There's been a big old chunk of climbing. One climb that had like some
pretty steep sections on it, and then another one that was about 11k at 4.5%, so not too crazy, but tough on the legs after you've crossed the 100k mark. So just stopped here to fill up the bottles and grab a couple of jelly worms, jelly babies. 20k to go, gonna get it done. Thankfully it's not too hot today. You can probably see it's a bit cloudy. That's really helps, because if it had been a sunny day today, it would have been really hot. Humidity's picked up though, so I'm sweating cobs, which is why I'm drinking so much. But yeah, right, 20k to go, let's get it done. Oh, so that's the ride done. Really enjoyed that one. The legs are feeling it now. Yeah, despite the crash, horror show, big mistake from my part. Obviously, I tried to stick with the group, tried to catch back onto them, and I pushed it too hard. Anyway, we live to fight another day. Lessons learned. No broken bones. The bike's in good shape, so happy with that. But yeah, really fun day out. Really enjoyed it. Got a little bite to eat now, so the recovery starts here.